What I've realized in my short, non-existent time on YouTube is that growth comes from unique ideas and concepts that'll catch the attention of viewers who don't get that kind of content anywhere else. Realizing what that unique piece of content is, in and of itself, feels almost impossible with millions of people creating unique ideas every single day, and then also having to incorporate it with what you like to do turns it into finding a needle in a haystack. So I got to the drawing board and asked myself, what do I like to do and how can I turn it into entertainment? And I thought to myself, well, I'm a sweat, but not just a normal sweat. I'm a sweat at everything. And most of the time, it's not even on purpose. I'm just a naturally competitive person who doesn't like to lose. Ever. And I'm putting myself to the test with this new series. The series will be called... The basic premise of this series is I spin a wheel full of games that have ranked modes, and whatever game it lands on, I have to sweat on that game for the next 30 days. Simple enough. There will be some smaller rules here and there, like for example, games with multiple roles or characters will also be randomly selected as well to really shake it up. If I get a game that I've previously played or have standing in, I'll come up with different rules as they come along, but more than likely it'll just be like a fresh account. Like I'll just start on a fresh account and then I'll just start from the bottom. The purpose of this series is just to have fun and really test my abilities as a gamer. I'm really hoping this series gets some traction, as I'll also give commentary on the different ranked communities that I'll be diving into. And I'll be hoping to make a lot of new connections along the way. If there's a game you'd like me to potentially climb through, just leave a comment and I'll add it to the wheel. There's really no restrictions. The game just has to have 1, a ranked mode, duh, and 2, an active player base, because I don't want to play any game where it'll take me 10 or more minutes to find a game. That's just not going to be fun. With all of that being said, let's see the first game of our series. Whatever game it lands on is a game that I have to know life and see how far I can get in 30 days. Let's say 30 days. All right, 3, 2, 1. Overwatch. Overwatch. Okay. Fine. That's okay. I'm not mad at that. So Overwatch it is. All right. Ooh, maybe I should random the role. Oh, but I really don't want to get it for like tank or something like that. Oh. Matter of fact, let me do it. I'm gonna randomize the role too. I can live with support. I can live with support. I'll go straight into it too. I don't play no games. What is this? This is silver? This is silver, right? Like that's what my rank is, silver 3. This is where I actually ran into one of my first roadblocks where I didn't realize that I was already platinum in the role that I was given. So the rule that I had initially came up here was that I would just take support off the list. I didn't realize I was that high at the time. I just didn't. I didn't. You can even see it in the video. I thought it was. I thought it was a silver. I thought it was silver. I 100% thought it was silver, but apparently I'm a lot better than that. But yeah. So I'm gonna re-roll, but this time it's just gonna be for damage or tank because those are the two roles that I just haven't played in ranked. I play support a lot. Yes. So I will go back and randomize it between tank and damage. Make it so I have to do something that I don't naturally know how to do. Between tank and damage. I really don't want to be tank. I really don't want to be tank. They're gonna give it to me, aren't they? Aren't they? Oh, I can't get away from it. Fuck. Okay. Tank it is. Tank it is. Tank, in my opinion, is the hardest role to play in this game. You can see my first big glaring issue that I have with the tank class so far. It's just that I don't know matchups. Well, I didn't know matchups. So if I started getting beat up by enemy Rhine or another Diva or a Zarya at the start, I had no idea what to do. Usually, if I'm playing tank in quick play, it doesn't matter as much because I could just be so significantly better than the other player playing tank that it doesn't matter who I picked. I'm just good enough to overcome any disadvantage that that character has. But now in ranked, even at the gold level, you see a better understanding of character matchups and how one player could play into another, so on and so forth, even at the gold level, which is more than what I had at that point. But even in this one play session, you can see that I heavily improve it and I get a good flow going. Let me just preface, because I feel like I may get some comments about the overall gameplay. I got placed in gold. Gold 1 to be specific. I got placed in gold 1 for my first tank game in ranked. I am not going to be great at this at the start. I think that's the entire point of the series, or one of the main points of the series. And one reason to keep coming back is to watch me get better. Like, even in this gameplay here, I'll show my... There were a lot of losses. But I'll show some of my highlights from the wins that I did get and the performances that I did get. Because overall, I feel like I went from a gold player to a plat player within the span of like three hours, in my opinion. Killer too.
Quite a feat.
Oh, fight for the win. first ranked game on, already doing damage. Already doing damage. I think for day one, I'll at least cover my placement matches. In this next game, surprisingly, it was the first time I actually experienced some form of toxicity. And I'm just glad that it didn't come from my own teammates. Now, I'm a very chilled person. Like, in this next match, it was actually my teammates that came to my defense, which made me feel really good because it was a good back and forth between the teams. And of course, I'm loving the competition. I'm thinking like, oh, this is cool. They win one fight, we win one fight. We're genuinely going back and forth. But then the other tank makes it a bit more personal. He says tank diff. Don't know what that means in the Overwatch community. When they say diff, that usually means difference in skill, or like he is just doing significantly better than I am. It's ridiculous in my opinion because, well, at least in the position that he was speaking in, because the first round we dominated. We absolutely dominated their team. Second round they did come back. We were playing a bit more the way that I like to call it. I like to call it the anime villain strat, where instead of everybody attacking at the same time, we're all just one at a time kind of going at the team, and they're killing us off, making it really disadvantageous situations for ourselves. But in the third round, when we got our shit together and we started playing together again like we did in the first round, it was pretty much just a wash at this point. And at no point did I ever say anything bad about the other tank at all. But for some reason, at a point, everything just kind of revolved around the two tanks. Because he started with the tank diff, and then we won the first team fight, and he was like, maybe there really is a tank diff, after like I did like a little play to get him pushed away. And then they won the second team fight, and then the other tank was like, or not. And again, I'm not even talking. I'm not talking at all because I don't want to entertain any of this. I'm just trying to play. I'm trying to win the game, and they were trying to make it, a bit more toxic. And you know what would feel terrible? I feel like I'm destined to jinx myself. So in situations like that, I like to stay quiet, because if I start talking and lose, I feel like 3 times the dickhead. Like, simple as that. Talking shit just to lose is like one of the most humbling experiences that I never experienced, because I don't talk shit at all. I might, if it's like really, really bad, I will respond, but it'll be in a more calm manner, because I already know how embarrassing it is to talk shit and lose. Like, I already know how embarrassing that is. So why would I make the situation worse for them? They're already kicking their own ass mentally. That's the only battle I gotta worry about.
Capture the objective. This is it. Let's show them how it's done. You cannot escape me. Thanks.
Moragwitch.
Short bitch.
Feel better?
That was a great first fight because we were all together.
My allies need me.
escape
Let's
me.
win the game first.
Play of the game.
I'm not even gonna say anything. I'm not even gonna entertain shit. Like, this shit is mad corny. The gameplay that you'll be seeing in the background is just some footage from my fifth and final placement match that I needed to win to finally get ranked. Uh, we were getting steamrolled for a little bit, but after I made a quick switch to Doomfist, it seemed like Doomfist just so happened to be the key to finally put a nail in the coffin for this game, or at least this round. In the next round, I switched to Reinhardt, and we just kind of steamrolled past the entire thing and won the game. So super simple, but what I really want to use the last portion of these videos for is just recap. So the two main things that I want to go over is my win to loss ratio for the episode and where I ended in rank. So because these are my placement matches, they initially put me in gold 1. I ended up being placed officially in gold 2 with a record of 5 and 7. Now, do I necessarily agree with that? Kind of. I like that placement just because even though I do feel like I'm getting a better grasp of it, I still need to work on plenty of my mechanics. And even though I am understanding like, hey, I should switch to this character, or I should switch to that character, so on and so forth. It's not like I just have a lot of experience with this and that character. Yeah, so that's just another thing that I just gotta get used to. So as far as placement, I'm happy with the placement right now. I am still keeping that rule that I can't play ranked with friends. It doesn't necessarily even matter in my situation because I don't have friends that I can actually play Overwatch competitive with, just because none of my friends that play Overwatch play on PC like I do, so we couldn't play anyways. But I will be using unranked as a way to practice different tanks, just so I get better across the board with my counter picks. And I'm not just counter picking because this character beats this character, so I'll just play this character even though I have no experience with the character, and avoid situations like that. I think once I get that down, I can really start climbing the ladder. But all in all, I am really happy to see how far I came, even in a short amount of time. I always say that growth is exponential. The more of an understanding that I get of the game, the easier it is for me to be better at it. I want to preface a couple things. I do work a full time job, and that does take up a lot of my time. So the 30-day time period will stick. I'm not gonna get I can't guarantee that I could play every single day or that I'll even have the energy to play every single day. But I'll make sure to commit at least my off days. Commit my off days to it just so that I am making progress and am dedicating time towards this thing that I am passionate about, that I really do want to get off of the floor. I hope you did enjoy and you like and subscribe and leave a comment on what you think, or if you just want to give me some tips. I would love to take tips on how I can be a better tank. Just leave it in the comments and I'll make sure to give it a read. Thank you for watching, and later.